guest. You've been working.
It's all right.
Can you make my hair look like this?
Oh, man, what you want to make your hair look like that for?
No.
Will you let the man tee you off? You yap worse than 6 barbers.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Your Barber podcast. I'm your host, Matt Ballad, a.k.a. Matty Blades on Instagram, the owner of Sharp's Barber Suite, located in Midtown Atlanta. We got episode number 47 today on the docket.
47.
Today's going to be a little bit different of an episode. Normally, we're interview style. We're going over the life of the guest, but we got our first repeat guest today. Without further ado, let's go ahead and bring in my guy, Tony Shearz.
What's good? Hey.
There he
Nice.
is.
Talk about it.
Welcome back to the show, Tony.
Thank you for having me. So I didn't know, man, 47 shows?
47,
Episodes?
man.
Wow, you've been working, huh?
Yeah, man. This is probably going to be a long hiatus after this episode. I've been slowing down a little
burnout
bit.
is real, huh?
Yeah, it's a lot of work, dude. It's a lot to do by yourself, and I got a business now, so I'm kind of trying to zero in on that and watering that plant and making sure that's maintained and everything's happy there. But yeah. What's new with you, man? How you been? How's life?
Life is good, man. Just been working, barber life, man. You know how it is. Just like feels like all you do is just cut hair, just you wake up, cut hair, go to sleep, you wake up again, do it all over again. It's just like constant cycle.
Right. You
days
gotta
off.
add you gotta add something here and there to keep it fun, right?
Yeah, exactly. But we haven't spoken in a while. How's it been going with like the open up your own studio, your own suite?
Yeah, so a couple episodes I kind of broke down a little bit on what exactly happened. Long story short, a couple guys getting business together, add some business partners, and one by one, everyone shut off until there was like one guy left, and kind of the common denominator. And then it kind of seemed like financially what was happening with the shop was kind of unknown, whether it was on purpose or not, the failure of the shop. But long story short, dude, got behind on rent and the shop closed, got sued by the building, and had to move on. I got a little bit of notice before that was going to happen, whether it was known to whoever, but I was able to kind of screw stuff up, fix it, get it together with the suite. I moved just a block away. Honestly, it was an opportunity of a lifetime to start my own business, because it was a situation where there was going to be all these clients with no home. And so I was literally able to retain a good, I would say 80% of my clientele, and brought them a block over with me. And dude, it's just been surreal. Like, I can't believe how well it's gone. And it's just, dude, I mean, it really emotionally like smacked me maybe a month ago or so, now that I'm kind of settled and everything. But I mean, dude, it couldn't be going better. A lot of great support, and I'm happy, man. I'm happy just being the one-man show in there, and really don't have too many responsibilities. The laundry is probably the most consistent chore that can bother me a little bit, but that's about it, man. All in all.
How many clients did you have, more or less, when you made that move?
So when I sent the text out, I had to get all these messaging services, and I had a lot of the data from the business. I could have got more if I really wanted to, but I didn't get too aggressive there. I just stuck with my clients, and I probably sent out about 300 text messages.
300?
Yeah, 300.
That's
and
crazy.
Yeah, dude. And probably, I mean, I'd say a good 215 probably, or in the rotation there.
Wow. Also, then you're pretty steady then. You're
Oh
doing
yeah,
you're doing pretty
super
good.
steady. And the thing is, dude, I'm not stressing myself out, right?
Yeah.
That's not why I got into this. Like some of my fellow brethren, sometimes you kind of hear almost in a braggadocious way, like, dude, I'm doing 18 haircuts a day. I'm like,
Yeah.
18 haircuts.
I know.
The
I don't know
last
how
thing
to
I
do
want
it.
to do. I'm cool with the 18 to 12 or
Yeah.
8 to 12. Sorry, 8 to
Yeah.
12, 8 to 10. I'm
Yeah.
chilling, dude. I'm hitting my
Yeah.
numbers.
That's perfect.
Yeah,
That's a good amount, I think. So that way, the problem is that there's a balance, right? Like you don't want to get burnt out from doing this,
exactly.
and I
And I'm
think
really
that
trying to make every first time experience, especially, a good one. AKA
right.
not sitting outside waiting on me. Like, I want to be waiting for every client that walks in the door. I don't want them to wait on me a second. So
Yeah. How do you
that's,
feel about them barbers on Instagram that do like 10, 15-minute haircuts? I've seen like a few people like promoting that. How do you
yeah.
feel about that?
I mean, it's good to have that tool in your bag. If that's one thing I learned at the English barber at the high end shop I was at, it was to kind of get that 30-minute haircut down a little more down to a science. And
Mm.
so that's in the bag for sure. But I'm just trying to provide the best service for every single client that I have, and trying to just be consistent with that. And holidays, you got a big trip coming up, you kind of want to jam in a little more, then you have that tool in your bag. You can kind of
Yeah.
replenish some of the stuff you lost. And sorry, Siri, chill out. All right. But yeah, you can, yeah. I've gotten a lot faster. I've made a lot of adjustments, and I'm always adjusting. I mean, are you
Yeah.
still adjusting, Tony? Are you still calibrating
Yeah.
constantly?
Always. But then you realize like how important haircuts are to people. Some people really cherish their barber, they cherish their relationship with the barber. And that's something that there's people that will follow you, man. They're just super loyal and they'll just be there. I still have
100%.
clients from like when I first came on a barber school. And I'm like,
Wow.
man, I cut this guy's hair, and I remember seeing guys that came in, full head of hair, and now they're super thinning, and I'm like, I'm like,
You've
man,
seen the aging
yes,
process on some.
yes, exactly. I'm like, I seen you age, my man, and obviously they see me age as well, but it's kind of humbling, or when they have kids, right, and then you
Yeah.
cut their kids, and it's just like it's a progression, like being a barber is just like it's humbling. It really is. Like you just see all these stages of life that people go through. People get promotions. You see people get married. You see people have kids, and
We're there
yeah.
for each other's growth, man.
Mm-hmm.
We see their growth and they see ours, and it's just kind of yeah, it's one of the healthiest relationships there is. Like
Mm.
you can it's
Yeah.
just constant life updates, and I'm always trying to provide some stories. You know what I mean? I'm always trying to like make sure there's no dead air.
Yeah.
We're talking
See,
about that a little bit.
I think that's my problem. My problem is mastering that because you're what cutting for what 45 minutes at least, right? Give or take. So
Yeah,
it's like you got to be able to fill in that dead air, constantly while you're trying to do a good job on the person's hair. So how do you maybe you can give me some tips on that? What do you do? Because I know you're pretty good. Even in barber school, I remember you were pretty good with that. Like you were just like, just talking away. And I'm like, man, I'm like I'm still trying to figure out my system. I'm still trying to figure out like I just zone out. I get like tunnel vision.
right.
So how do
Sometimes it's
you
good to do that with some clients. Like I have a client. There's a little bit of a age barrier or a language barrier, and actually had a post about him the other day. Guy named Hyente. Since there is a little bit of a language barrier, like I feel like I get better when I cut his hair because I'm kind of, his hair texture is kind of difficult to start with. So I'm like zeroed in. I'm really like just locked in and trying to find a better way to do his hair every time, and it makes me better. But we really don't talk any. I mean,
Right.
I'll throw in something here and there, but it's really like, I'd say a good 5 to 10% of my haircuts go that way, where it's
Really?
that much silence.
Yeah.
But that was just an observation, dude. It's like, I've mentioned on here before, I'm a huge fan of comedy, and I almost treat like every client like it's a bit I'm working on, and I like get better with every client, and I almost feel
good.
bad if I don't give that to each client that I've gave to the previous one. Like, I got to tell them the same story. Come on. But I'm getting better at telling that story every
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Until it's like you got 2 weeks, and then boom, you got like, it's like you record a special as a
You
comedian.
need
You got to
new
wipe the
material,
slate.
right?
You got to start over. So like,
Yeah.
I mean, dude, and the thing is, sometimes the over talking can be a thing. You got to feel it out, no doubt. But like, there's no shortage of stuff to talk about in Atlanta. Like, there's always something crazy going on. Like, the
Yeah.
homeless people, dude, are getting wild where we're kind of
Where
where
you're
the
at?
building is, and just
Yeah.
across the city, in general. But I mean, our building, there's people with front units in the suite. I feel like I got the perfect spot because I'm right by the door, but I'm not a window unit. So I
Yeah.
don't have to deal with all the bull crap that the window unit brings, but
Yeah.
I'm still up front, and I still have to answer a lot of questions or direct people the right way, or I'm kind of
Yeah.
the first one that gets asked, "Hey, you got time for a walk-in?" Or so like I feel like I'm in a perfect spot. But I mean, dude, like this week, one of the bits I was working on was this homeless guy in particular that stumbles into the suite, the salon loft sometimes. He's like, "Oh, I stepped in dog shit. You got a towel?" And I'm like, "What?
What?
Why is this?" Like, you're around more homeless people. You're from New York. Like, they got
Yeah.
their bits. They got
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
pitches. They're like lines they throw at people right out of the gate, right? And this guy's line he hits with everyone is, "Oh, I stepped in dog shit." I'm like, dude, what about that is gonna make me want to help you? Like, he's like, "You got a
Oh.
towel?" I'm like, "I'll give you a paper towel. I'm not gonna give you a regular towel."
What is it like is it like a rough area? Is that why?
No, it's a metropolis. It's just like it's an issue like San Francisco, dude. It's just like they're everywhere. Like, it's
Really? In Atlanta? I never
it sucks in a way. You see a lot of good and bad with it, but I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, man. Like, sometimes in the morning, the people at the window unit, there's a little cubby in front of one of them. I think there used to be a door there. That's why there's kind of like a cutout. And
Yeah.
dude, sometimes these homeless people set up shop right there. And so
Really?
these people got to like kick people out before they start their day. And I'm like, that shouldn't be part of the business model. Like, you got to deal with every day. Like, you don't know what day these guys are going to bite your face off. But yeah,
Yeah.
dude. I mean, yeah, that's one of the little bits I throw in because that guy said that pitch to me, that
Yeah.
line, and I told a client about it that was waiting out, that was like walking in the door. Told
Yeah.
him, he's like, "Dude, he just said the same thing out there to me." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Dude, that's his pitch. That's his line he uses. Holy crap. I can't believe that actually works." Like, but yeah, man, that's how I treat it though. The observation that treat it like it's just like you're working out a bit and you got to
Yeah.
come up with a new one. I'm going to Denver for the first time in a couple weeks um, to watch my Broncos play a football game. It's like childhood fulfillment stuff. That's what we're doing these days, Tony. A lot of childhood fulfillment and
Yeah.
a lot of a lot of like living life.
Yeah.
A lot of living life more than doing the pod. So that's what
Yeah.
I'm just doing, man. I'm running the business and I'm living life, and I'm so excited about this trip coming up, man. So I've been talking about that to clients and asking them about altitude sickness and stuff.
Do you feel like most clients prefer to get their haircut in silence, or do you feel like they like to have a conversation? Like, what do you feel?
I feel like if you're not providing an extra experience outside of the haircut, then I feel like the client gets a little more impatient. Like, we're in a very microwave based world right now. And if you're not giving them like, if I'm not hitting on the conversation, I spin them away from the mirror and towards the TV.
Right.
The TV right in front of us. So
Yeah.
I shift it that way. I got sports on. I got Curb Your Enthusiasm on. I
Yeah.
got the local news on. So yeah.
Because I see it. My thing is like, I feel like for me, when I used to get haircuts, I used to I couldn't stand when the barber was just talking up a storm, bro. Like, I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
Just like, I just want to get my hair cut in silence. Like, because it's the only few times out of the week or the day where you're actually just kind of relaxing, right?
Yeah.
And there is something relaxing about getting a haircut.
Right.
It's just a
100%.
relaxing experience, right? You got the clippers vibrating off your head, and it's just something just relaxing about that.
Yeah.
And when you got a barber just like constantly, hey man, how's your weekend going? How's your day going? Hey, what? And it's just like, bro, I just saw you 2 weeks ago. Like, not much has changed from last time. Like,
Right. No,
so
you can feel it. You can feel it out. I totally get it. But like, the combo service, you get beard. I ain't
Right.
talking during the beard.
yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? And then sometimes they don't get it. They keep talking, and you're like, oh man, now I
Yeah.
messed up. Now I got like touch their face to kind of give them like, context clues. Like, here's
yeah,
the part where I need your chin to hold still. Like
yeah.
that's a move. That's a move. The touching the head.
Yeah.
That's like a thing where they're like, oh, I gotta make an adjustment here.
Right.
That's a little move there. But you sent me this the other day, or you sent me this today, and I was like, oh, this plays right into kind of what we're talking about here. So listen to this CEO here.
I don't know if you guys agree with me or if it sounds stupid, but first of all, my hair is very easy to cut, and I've done it for so many years. I've done it for decades. I know how to do a fade.
Okay, so what's the problem? You know how I thought.
So I'll get my haircut done, but it just doesn't make sense for me to drive to a barber. It takes so much time, and then to drive back. And then people will say, well, why don't you hire the barber to come to your house or your office? I've done that before. But the thing is that, yes, you save the drive, but then when the barber comes, the barber wants to talk about his life. The barber wants to get a life coach session. So it's like almost.
So this is different though. The barber wants a life coach session from him.
Right.
I thought it was the other way when you first sent it, that the barber's giving a life coach session. I was like, that's even funnier. But so this guy is a high, he's a very successful gentleman here. So I think he's big in real estate, possibly, right?
I don't know. I don't know too much about him.
I've seen him a little bit.
Yeah, I've seen him before, but I don't know too much about him.
So I'm like, that's interesting. He's kind of like, he thinks he should be charging the barber for the information he's giving him. And I'm like, oh, okay.
It's like, man, you're going to come cut my hair for an hour. I'm going to have to charge you $10,000 to cut my hair because you're just grinding me and asking me nonstop questions, and it's draining. It takes energy when you're giving value.
Okay, that's an interesting way to put it. He's giving the value there during the haircut.
That's interesting. I mean, oh man, I don't
What do you think about that?
I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, it goes to what I was saying before about like, getting a haircut and wanting to just be relaxed, right? So that's why I was asking before, like, do most clients prefer to just sit in silence? Like, because I was like that, so I'm sure there's got to be a bunch of people that are like that. But then there are people that, they want to chat. They want to chat it up, So it's like, I don't know, how do you find that out? Like, how do you? I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm in the fortunate position where I know, a lot of my clients. It's rare. If you're a first-time client with me, be prepared to talk.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah, and if you're not, then I mean, if you're not going to talk during your first haircut, then not to say I won't retain you, but I feel like the retention is harder when you can't provide anything outside of just the service.
Right.
And even like my regular clients, I tell them, I get mad at them when they say like, oh, I got a meeting in like 5 minutes. Like at the end of the haircut, I'm like, dude, what tell me at the beginning.
Right.
Tell me you
Right.
got somewhere to be. It's not going to hurt my feelings. Like, tell me you got somewhere to be, and we'll make this happen, dude.
It's like getting a massage, right? You get a massage, like the last thing you want is the lady to be chatting it up with you through the entire hour, talking about, hey,
Right.
so how's your day? How's it, while you're trying to relax, right? Like,
No doubt.
so I mean, I could see his point, to a certain extent, but I do feel like barbers have this urge or need to feel like they need to like impress the customer, or they need to constantly like get on their good side,
Yeah.
or they're trying to build that rapport with the client, and I'm like, I don't know if we need to do that. I feel like it's okay to ask questions in the beginning,
Right.
just to kind of get an idea of like, what they're looking to get, but then you just get, let them relax, like,
Yeah.
but then there are going to be some clients that want to talk. So I think that's okay too. So I don't know,
Yeah. No,
but
I've almost put myself in the position to where I feel wrong if I'm not talking. And
yeah,
so I definitely got to mix it up a little more to where I'm doing less talking,
but
which
that's your personality though, right?
yeah, it's my personality, which is, how I've built the clientele a little bit, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it comes, some days we're not feeling it. So, it's a little less chatty,
Yeah.
early in the morning. It's kind of one of those dreary days, like,
Yeah.
it kind of all goes into that. But
For sure.
and it's funny how it was like you're trying to impress the client, like you were saying, like, dude, I've been in this like phase right now where I'm just like I'm not really promoting my business, and I'm kind of like cool with it. like I'm doing fine. I'm hitting all my numbers, and I almost feel wrong that I'm not like more giddy about promoting and posting and pulling my phone out to film everything. And
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a social media cleanse,
Yeah.
if you want to call it that. I'm still on there. I might repost a story every now and then or something, but like I'm really not being too active, especially at the rate I was, especially in the infancy of this podcast and when I was working at the shop. Because even at the shop, like you feel like if you show a little bit of that promotion hustle as an employee, like it reflects well on your boss. Like your boss is like he's kind of like his own boss, but he's an employee for us. So,
Yeah.
I feel just like no pressure whatsoever to do this right now. What's your take on that, Tony? Like you ever go through a cleanse or you go through periods where like I feel like I don't want to promote or I don't need to promote?
All the time, dude. I feel like that all the time. But what's crazy is that I'll feel like that, and then I'll go through a moment where I don't post, and then I'll get a client that comes in and says, "Yeah, I found one of your videos on TikTok, or I found, I found you on Instagram," and I'm like, "Oh shoot!" I'm like, "Dang, I gotta get back on it,"
Yeah,
So
you're like this works.
yeah, exactly. So it happened to me a few times where I was just like, "Really?" I'm like, "You found me on TikTok?" I'm like, and that's one of the platforms that I could give a crap about. I just post
Same,
whatever.
same.
I don't put no effort into that one at all. Instagram is the one that I try to be more like involved with, but
Right.
TikTok out of for some reason, man, sheesh, I be getting clients there. I'm just like, and I don't even have that many followers. That's the crazy thing.
They got
So
like some sort of like viral factor on there that like it's just like I don't know, dude. The reach is like better. A
bad.
lot of different things go into the algorithm. It seems with TikTok.
Yeah. Are you on there?
No,
No.
I just know it would consume me too much.
Yeah.
I stay away as a precaution.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to be the like, oh, I gotta be the first to have this app. I gotta be the first to be on here, and I'm just I
Yeah.
know it would be too much for me. I have it
Mhm.
because my wife sends me videos all the time, and they got rid of the like you can just watch it on Safari or whatever. You gotta actually have the app now, so I have it for that reason.
Yeah.
But even when I watch a video she sends me, I scroll up once and I'm like, oh, okay, dude, you're doing it. Get off it.
Yeah. It gets you. It gets you. Yeah.
Yeah, so I stay away just to kind of save myself from myself on that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. No, and it's crazy how much time we can spend just scrolling, right? Like,
Oh,
isn't
dude,
it
yeah.
like dangerous? Like, you just be like, what? It's been like, you look and you're like, man, I've been on this thing for how long? Like,
It's crazy.
it is scary. Like how we're constantly always like having to like check it and scroll it and so I don't know. I'm sure I'm not the only one that's guilty of that. I see a lot of people on there and I'm like, man, like this dude never gets off. I'm like,
I
he's
know.
always on. I'm like, sheesh. I'm like, man.
I
So
feel
I've
like
been
I'm
trying.
on there the most, just direct messaging people. Like I use the messaging on there the most these days, I feel like, on Instagram at least.
Yeah.
Like I've really reeled it back recently. Like sometimes I'm just like, man, I didn't look at Instagram once today on like the timeline tip at least. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, I don't know, it's football season too. That's kind of taken over a lot
Yeah.
for me. I'm in
Yeah.
the fantasy, I'm in the betting.
I feel like we need to like train our brains that if we're gonna use Instagram, it should be strictly for posting. Like we're gonna post something.
Yeah, for a
You know?
purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, for a purpose, exactly. But to like be doom scrolling, like just I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
think
If
that's
you're at the
healthy.
DMV, it's one thing. If you
Right.
you're just living your life day to day, that's another thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
man. How's your health and everything, man? How you been holding up physically with barbering?
Dude, my shoulder, back, all that stuff is killing me, man. Oh
Have
man.
you changed anything
I had a
to
client
help
the
with
other
that?
day. I was cutting up someone the other day and I was like stretching my back
Mhm.
because I was looking in the mirror, looking at my posture, and I was like, man, my posture is looking crazy. I'm like hunched over, and I'm like,
Yeah,
man,
dude.
that's not good. So, yeah, no, it takes a toll on you. That's why I don't know how people can do like 20, 30 cuts a day. I'm like, bro, like you know how you're gonna be in 30 years from now, 20 years from now? Like,
Yeah, the residual damage, man.
oh man, shoulder is gonna be jacked up, your
Do you
back.
try to be cognizant of that though?
Yeah.
Like your posture? I work on it every day, man.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm doing a shave or something. Like my
Yeah.
shoulders can be like a turtle in the shell, and I realize I'm doing it, and I go, "Oh, let go,
Yeah.
Matt, let go." Now do
Yeah,
it.
I know. I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
I,
one.
I think incorporating stretching like in the morning, that's crucial.
No doubt.
Making sure and obviously just working out, strengthening your core, your shoulders, your back. I think those things are like crucial, man. So yeah.
Dude, I'm the lightest I've been since I've seen you last.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The
I'm
last
probably
time
like
I was this light
heavies.
was when I saw you last. Isn't that
What
crazy?
really?
Yeah.
Why? You just been working out?
Dude, I've been working out less. I've been kind of I'm doing it the wrong way. You know how they say like put on mass and then cut?
Yeah.
I'm cutting everything, and then I'm
Really?
gonna try to rebuild the mass. But
Uh, what are you doing? Tell me about that.
intermittent fasting.
So
Now,
from
I've
what time to
always
what
kind of
time?
did that, but that we don't eat after 8:45. That's my cutoff. 8:45, not another thing is consumed but chewing gum. Big gum
Eight
guy right now.
eight 8:45 a.m. or p.m.
PM. So I
So
eat 12:45 to 8:45. That's my eating window. And then
12:45
after
a.m.
that,
Wow.
yeah. And we've religiously been doing it, like no cheats. And sometimes you go a little ham when you are in that eating window. But
Yeah.
especially the days I'm working, dude, I can feel I'm at a deficit and I'm down back in the 170s. Dude, I weighed
Wow.
207 during the height of
Whoa.
COVID. That was the
Whoa.
heaviest I ever got, dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
You down in the 170s now?
Yeah, I'm like 177 to 180, 181 in that fluctuation right now.
How do you feel?
Oh, dude, I feel incredible.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I had a little bit of a health thing. I didn't know what was going on. Not to go TMI too much, but it was like a circulation thing. And dude, I was like, what causes that? And I was like, oh, standing up too long or sitting too long. I'm definitely on the standing side. And dude,
Yeah.
when I was even coming home, I'm standing up. I'm
Yeah.
constant, I'm a dad, you know, I'm doing laundry. I don't sit down. Like I sleep when I sit down sometimes. So I've been making more of an effort to sit down when I'm not cutting. I kind of sit like 5 minutes in between clients. I try to, and yeah, that's been an immediate improvement there. But
You need one of those chairs, the ones that swivel that you can sit on.
nah, I'm never gonna do that. Never, dude. Speaking of shoulder and neck pain, that thing just makes my neck hurt looking at people cut like that, dude. I'm like, oh, it's crazy, dude.
I thought about that. Well, I was like, man, it's not a bad idea, you know.
Until you try it, then you're just like,
Yeah.
you feel like a child cutting hair. Like,
Wow. So circulation is what, like in your feet? Is that what was
so it
happening?
was honestly, dude, in my groin.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, what do I got going on? And
Yeah.
dude, I saw this cat I went to I had college classes with back in the day. He
Yeah.
got testicular cancer, got a
Oh,
whole testy removed. He's good now, but I'm like,
Yeah.
holy I'm like, I'm making a doctor appointment. And I'm one of these guys, I don't go to the doctor. I don't get checkups.
That's
You
most
know,
men.
we don't have great insurance, but like I'm on my wife's insurance. So I'm like, what am I
Yeah.
doing? Let me go. And
Yeah.
everything was fine, everything's good, and it
Yeah.
was a minor thing, a circulation thing, but yeah, I was like, I saw that post, and it was kind of like the way he described it, like kind of similar to what I was having going on. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
let me just, and that's another thing I've been paying back to my clients. I'm telling them this story. I mean, yeah, I'm even telling them the like ultrasound thing I had with the tech, like. Like the ultrasound story I'm telling my clients, and it's fucking funny, dude. But like, I'm asking them, I'm like, are you a like go to the doctor every year guy? And like some people my age, they're like, nah, no, I'm not. I'm like, dude, come on. Like, I was you. I need to, you gotta go to the doctor, dude. You gotta take care of yourself. Make sure.
I know. That's crazy. It's funny because by the 30th client, you probably that joke is probably so polished, right?
Oh, dude, yeah. That's what I'm saying, dude. I'm ready to record a special at the 2-week mark, and then
You
they
learned from the
come in.
previous client, like, I gotta polish that one line up.
Exactly, dude.
He's like, I harped on that one thing too much. I gotta reel that in a little bit.
Yeah. I was like, that was too much. Less is more. Move on. So, dude, and sometimes someone will ask you, "Oh, you said you're going to the doctor. How'd that go?" And you weren't gonna go there with them, and you're like, now I gotta go through the whole thing. Sometimes you tell a little expedited version, but yeah, it's a back and forth thing, dude.
Yeah.
So how's the suite? How's the spot, man?
So we're going on 3 years, man. Can you believe that?
3 years, dude. Dude, think about in barber school. We dreamed about being where we are now.
I know.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah.
We both kind of, I remember us both kind of saying at that 5-year mark, we wanted a shop.
Yeah.
And I feel like you kind of succeeded a little early in that.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I was hungry. I mean, I'm still hungry, like, and what motivates me is because I don't want to keep doing this forever. Like,
right.
You
We're
think
figuring
about,
out
like,
ways to get more while doing less, right?
yeah, like I don't want to like be 20 years in the game with a jacked up shoulder, jacked up back, like I just don't. I mean, I love barbering, but
Yeah.
I would love to get to a point where I can just maybe cut one day a week and then manage like different shops and different businesses and stuff like that. But being behind a chair, grinding out 5 days, 6 days, like just nonstop for years, like nah, I don't see that.
It would be cool to be a barbershop consultant, right? Where you just like go around. It would have to be somewhere it's just like super, super densely populated.
Yeah.
But like if you just had a business of just consulting as a barber and then cut hair a tiny bit on the side, maybe.
There's a few people on Instagram to do that. I've seen it.
I interviewed a guy that he was trying to get into that.
Yeah.
But real estate does seem like a little bit of a niche an angle we can kind of pursue too. But it's
Yeah,
you kind of found out too. It's like it's a long road kind of building that business up too.
it is. It is. How,
Right.
how honestly though, how long do you see yourself cutting behind a chair? Realistically,
I mean,
if you had to put a range, 5 years,
dude,
six
I'm
years,
trying to go forever.
really?
Try to go as long. Dude, there's a reason why we see barbers in their 80s still cutting hair, because there's something about the relationships, there's something about the culture, there's something about I get a 3-day weekend every week. I mean,
Yeah.
like my wife and I were having dinner or lunch, a salad bar, and we're talking, and we're just like talking like, yo, we've came so far. Like, I can't believe, like, we're talking about our parents and how we're like, you know, we're kind of doubling up what they did life wise, financially wise.
Oh yeah.
And we're 33, 34. Like, it's mind blowing, dude. So that's why I'm just trying to wrap my brain around, just like how I'm doing this. I talked to the accountant the other day for the first time. That was an eye opening experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it's just I feel super blessed and I'm just grateful, man. It's a crazy moment right now we're doing.
That's good. That's good, man. How how's been like with your what are you charging now per haircut?
I charge 50 for a regular haircut,
Okay.
65 for a skin fade or any kind of specialty haircut, and I charge 90 now for a haircut and beard.
And
And I do facials for like 25. I have a facial tier with the combo, and I have like a whole thing service for like what was it, like 125, 130, something like that. I don't even know my prices.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
did, one little thing I did. Someone told me my tip percentages were a little too low, and I'm like,
Really?
okay, bet.
No
So
way.
I cranked those things up a little bit, and I saw a little bit of an increase there.
Wow.
And yeah, man, no questions asked, man. I mean, dude, when I added a steamer now, I'm
Yeah.
massaging my clients with a massage gun on on their neck when they're back there with if a towel goes on their face, you're getting extra shit. That's
Yeah.
why I charge 90.
Do you feel like 50 is a fair price?
Super fair.
Yeah.
Super fair. I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not overflowing. My books aren't overflowing, but they're not, they're booked the way I want them to be booked.
Yeah.
And I love this price point, and I could rock out with this price point for a very long time. Like,
Yeah.
at least until I get some years under my belt and see, what the plateau is, what the peak is and everything. And
Yeah.
but yeah, man, I'm trying to figure out all these little write-off tips right now. That's the name of the game. What
Yeah.
what are some obscure write-off things that you've figured out that like you didn't know
Um,
really before?
so are you set up as an S corp?
Not yet. That's one thing I was talking to my accountant about. I'm gonna be self-employed this year, which is a 15%. Well, it's gonna end up being what 30% with the self-employment. The S corp you can kind of help out with that a little bit, right?
So yeah, so what was mind blowing for me that when you set yourself as an S corp, you essentially become an employee,
Exactly.
right?
Of yourself, right?
Of
For your
yourself,
business.
of your
Yeah.
business. And you can actually write off the salary that you give yourself.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't even know you could write off the actual salary.
Yes, which was like that was crazy to me. I was like, "What?"
Well, I
I
was
was
asking
like,
my accountant. He's like, say you make 100,000, you pay yourself 50,000 a year. And I
right,
was like, okay, what if you want to like send yourself a little more? He's like, well, that's called contributions.
right.
You just send yourself what I don't, you could set up a transfer. You could whatever. And I'm like, okay, all right, that sounds decent.
But the thing is, you don't really want to give yourself more.
No,
That
because you want to stay in a certain bracket, I'm sure
right.
too, and that helps
Yeah,
out.
exactly.
But yeah, that I mean, some of the write-off shit I was talking to him about, and I didn't know you could write off if you invest in like an IRA or 401k, you can write that off.
Oh, you can.
Yeah, you can deduct that. There's a you ever see people with the car wraps, like their business on their car?
Yes.
So
I have
like,
I have a wrap on my car.
what's the minimum you can do with this wrap or these decals and get that? What is it? You get to write off some of the interest you've paid on your car, or there may be a couple things there.
Yeah,
Trying to remember.
it's complicated, but I know there's a few things on there. I forget though, to be honest. I don't remember,
How
but
much do you have on your car?
I don't. It's paid off.
No, I mean like the wrap. Like how much
Oh
like
no, it's
surface
like
is covered up?
just the side panel.
Just the side panel on both
Yeah,
sides?
both sides. Yeah.
I was thinking like the back windows, not like the rear window, but like the two back seat windows,
Yeah.
slapping like my logo on both sides and a QR code. Would that be enough? Or you
Yeah.
think that's not enough?
No, I mean, I think it's anything that's promoting your business.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like anything that's promoting your business. Yeah, I don't think there's an actual limit. Like it's just it has to be for intended purposes, right? So it has to
Right.
be with the intention that you're going to be promoting your business, right? Your company.
Yeah, I'm learning, man. It seems like there's a lot of like wiggle room for certain things, especially with like the mileage. I mean, I drive a lot, and it seems like you don't even have to provide a receipt. You just have to provide like a log. Like you have to have an active log going of your
Hmm.
miles, and
Yeah,
that seems to be good enough unless you get like audited or something. But
yeah,
yeah, I'm learning about that stuff a lot more right now. And I'm going to
yeah,
be pretty good in this year because I'm still saving money. I'm still setting money aside for taxes. But, I worked half of the year on a W-2 at the other shop. And I'm going to have the most like, just expenses that are inside of the shop to write off this year, probably more than any other year.
yeah,
So I'll probably be good with the self-employment, and maybe on the start of the new year, I'll switch to the S corp. And
yeah. You
right
gotta
now, I
get.
got everyone in my ear, like, go to my accountant. You should go to this account. Oh, my old boss, go to my account. And I'm like, shit, man. I'm
Really?
trying to just hear everyone out and just see what works best. But
Yeah. Do you have a guy now?
yeah, I have a guy we've started.
Okay.
He's got all my bookkeeping and everything. He's
Oh,
got
that's
all my
good.
numbers. So I feel like I should go with him since he has that. But
You know what's crazy though, Matt? Like I
what's that?
feel like once you become once you become an S corp and you're officially your own business owner and stuff like that, and you realize the tax advantages and the tax breaks that you get because of that, it's very difficult to even think about being a W-2 employee again.
Oh God, yeah.
Like trust me, you're going to figure out a way to make it work because to go back to W-2, dude, you're gonna be like, man, like
Oh
now,
yeah.
now I can see why the rich get richer.
Oh God.
Like it makes sense. Like there's just so many things that you just have favor. You just have so many breaks and so many things that
Loopholes.
yeah, so many loopholes. You're like, wow, this is crazy. But that's just how the way this country was always built. This country is built on entrepreneurship, right?
Right.
And the government incentivizes you to own real estate, to own businesses, right? That's what we're designed to do because if we create businesses, we create opportunities for other people. We help the economy. It's just like a long trickle effect. So
That's like
that's
going
why,
back to the guy. Like I'm using these upper tier clientele people I have for information too. Like I'm learning from them,
yeah,
especially with this, entrepreneur stuff and the taxes.
yeah.
And yeah, a lot of people, I mean, a lot of people are just like, yeah, dude, don't worry about that. Like you we're not going to check on that. Like, don't,
No, no. You always got to be on point because you know,
Right. And I'm
with,
someone who plays
with
by the
your luck,
rules,
right?
man. Yeah, I've always been a guy who plays by the rules.
Yeah,
So like it's tough, man.
yeah. No, you always gotta play by the rules. Just you like I said, you don't even have to be like a shady person. Like, you can play by the rules and still win.
Oh,
It's just
absolutely.
it's just the way the system is designed, like they really do cater toward the business owners.
Right. We're in the best time for barbers, right? Because
Yeah.
barber prices have skyrocketed.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yeah.
What happened? The
Yeah.
clients, speaking of comedians, all the clients are putting a phone in their face right now, turning into, dude, my barber charges what? Like, what? Why is this a thing right now for people to trash barber prices? I
No.
did the other day. I said, "Yo, how much are those shoes? How much did you pay for your shoes? You're wearing that too. You wear your hair
Yeah.
every day. You got to worry about your hair,
Yeah.
like, and you're spending $300 on some Supreme Stock X, whatever, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's funny. I mean, everything has gone up though, right? Like, I think what me and
Right.
my girl we went to get some pizza the other day, and they were like, "Oh, just order a slice. Just order a slice. I don't want to. Dude, $7 for a slice of
$7. I was
pizza."
gonna call it, dude.
I was
How
like,
much it was? Seven?
$7? I was like, hold up. Wait, how much is the pie? How much is it? $32? It's like, well, dang. I'm like, oh my
Jeez
goodness,
Louise.
$7. So,
I remember it was 250, and they were like,
right.
"Hey, 250."
And that was for the longest time, right? That was
Right.
like forever it was been like 250. But dude,
Let's not
everything, I
trash
mean,
pizzerias now.
no, no.
They went through the inflation too.
But yeah, no, a lot of people are complaining. I mean, I get it. I get it. Barber prices are expensive, but so is everything else, man. Slice of pizza is expensive too. You know, everything has gone up. Fast food, groceries, gas. I mean, you name it. It's gone up more than 30, 40%.
I just got a new toy the other day.
Oh,
Just
what'd you
came
get?
in. Just came in today.
Oh, that's the new Annis?
The phase, the master with the phase blade, whatever that means.
Oh, interesting.
It's a
Huh.
fade blade. I didn't know that.
Really?
So now I got 3 masters, dude.
What's so special about that one?
I don't know. It's the newest one. They update interiorly these masters, right? Because they were too loud when they came out with the cordless. They've
Yes.
made them quieter. They improved the battery life. I'm sure the performance, but that blade's supposed to be special. Precise carbon steel phase blade.
And what about the battery life?
Um, I'm assuming they improved the battery life. I never really read it,
Is
but
the
my whole
motor
plan is, what did you say?
is the motor the same? Is it?
No, that's the thing. They upgrade these motors too, because my first pair died on me, and I sent them in, and they fixed them for free. They'll put the most recent update on your masters if you send them into Andis.
Yeah.
But that new fat master blade came back. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I've seen it.
So
I never
that's like
I
a
never used
1A.
it.
That's like a long 1A, I feel like. It's probably
Yeah.
pushing to a 2. And so I'm going to put that on one master. I'm going to probably leave that one with the phase blade, or it's very surgical. They say that you can gap it better than ever to them, but so I'll do the freehanding or the close precision blending, short blending with that one, and then I'll
Yeah.
put the original, master blade. I always put a ceramic blade on it too. So I'll probably put that one on like the gold ones. I'll put the fat one on the original ones, and I'll have this the surgical fade blade on this new one. So I have
Yeah.
3 different masters that bring 3 different things to the table. And
So
so
you
that's
so you're not gonna use any
thing.
guards, basically.
I'll use guards. I'll probably use guards on the original master blade just because it's got the probably the smoothest blend.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it came with a 0 purple guard, which they brought back the OG zero purple guard, which I'm really not in love with. I like the I don't know if it's considered the new or the old one, but the one that was in operation for the last 5 years at least.
Yeah. You like that one? I don't like that one.
The zero one of that one. I'm just
Yeah.
used to it. Like I'm just used to it.
It's a little bit wider, like smaller, right?
Yeah, it's smaller. It's not as wide of a gap as this new zero. It looks like. That's why I like it, because I like a smaller tooth to deal with.
I got you.
Except for like outliners and stuff like that. But
you find it's better for what, like detailing and stuff?
Sometimes I close it and like clipper over comb with it with that zero blade on, and it kind of gives me a little bit, finer blending. Kind of like a little room for error blending at the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my whole plan with that one. But yeah, that's something to write off and a new toy to kind of keep the things going. But that, I think I saw a tiny price drop on that. Like Atlanta Barber Supply usually get a decent deal. I think
how much was it?
It's probably like, if it was 300, it was 290 through them or something.
Jeez.
If it was that, I can't remember what it was, but I went on there to get a shaver head, and that's what I left. $400 later, it's just like, Jesus.
Oh man, I mean they make good stuff though. Their stuff is durable. It's quality.
No, it's always been my favorite. It's always been my preference. But let's go back to these prices. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, no. Go ahead.
Let's go to prices. So we got a video here. These prices being out of control, right? And that, now, that like culture where these like 19-year-olds were shoving like lav mics into girls' faces on the street and being like, "Yo, what's the craziest thing you've ever done?" Like now we're doing it with like barber hair prices. So I don't know what's happening.
People are fed up.
Right. Maybe that's why I'm on a cleanse.
Bring $20 haircuts back.
Yeah, what world do we live in? Do you want a $20 haircut these days? Holy moly.
You got to go back to like the early 2000s for that.
Right. You got to get the
Jamie
haircuts Foxx lineup from.
And the haircuts weren't nearly as good as what they are now. I feel like barbers now way better, way more advanced, way more skillful.
Yeah. Okay. Look at this fella here. So they're saying he got a hair transplant. Honestly,
probably.
Honestly, it might just be some enhancements and a better barber.
Could be. No, but he got the money.
It could be a mix of both.
He got the money to get a transplant. Yeah,
he's definitely got the money. And people are like less shy about talking about this these days. Like everyone's getting stuff done, man.
Oh yeah.
I'm considering getting something done here. Like
I've been. What do you think about getting the transplant or the SMP?
I'd get SMP because I like the bald life, but I'd like a little bit of a. I'd like a little bit of a thing, a little something there.
But you cut yours off early on. You didn't.
Yeah, I cut mine off like I tried it out when I was like 23. I grew it back, shaved it, grew it back. My wife would rather me not be bald. My wife wants me to have like the Jason Statham, and I'm like, it just feels like it's dirty. If I let like 2 or 3 days going by, I feel filthy.
Yeah,
not shaving my head. Like there's something about that for me now. I'm at that point.
I can see you rock the Jason Statham look. Yeah, I can see that.
But real quick, let's go back to the prices.
For myself,
I just got a baldy yesterday.
I mean, like I feel like the most guys should pay for a haircut like 20, bro.
Bro, I gotta share this. Like, we gotta come together and like build a union or something. This is crazy. On a cut app yesterday because I've been going to this new barber. Man's is trying to charge $100 for a haircut.
Just got a fresh cut.
Hey, yo, how much you pay for haircuts, yo?
Like 40. I miss when they used to be 20. I swear.
Yo.
God!
What's going on, guys? Today, we need to talk about these out-of-control barbershop prices and haircut prices going on in 2024. Long gone are the days where you could get a haircut for like $12, $15 plus a tip only spending $20. And now we're seeing prices at $50, $80, $100 for a freaking haircut. And I am pissed.
Yo, how much is gas where you live right now, Tony?
I don't even know. 450.
Yo, you're in the fours.
Something like that. But man, I wish I wasn't a barber back when they were charging $15, bro. $20.
That's when you had to do 30 haircuts a day.
Sheesh, that's crazy. You know what it is? People only knew how hard it is to be standing on your feet for 8, 9 hours, cutting nonstop, having to start a conversation with someone new every single hour, and the amount of detail. So if you're really like, you know, like a perfectionist, like that's a lot of energy going into one haircut. You know, it's not like you're great clips and you're just getting people in and out 10 minutes, right? Like, you know, I have passion for my work just like as you do, right? Like you're not gonna be rushing anybody. You're not gonna be like fully content until that haircut meets a certain standard, right?
Right.
And that's a lot of energy that goes into that. You know, there's a lot of like, you know, developing your barber eye. It's a lot of like being meticulous and being detailed. Dude, there's times where I'm like, I'll go back and I'll look at and I'll see something different. I'm like, you know what? No, I can't let this guy leave the chair. I got to go back and fix this. Like, I can't, you know, sometimes
the amount of times I've decaped a client and kept cutting.
Yeah. Right. That's what I'm saying. So it's like, bro, you can't expect that for $20. Like, you're not gonna.
Dude, that's why I call it performing. We're putting on a performance. We gotta show up. The lights are on, and we gotta perform.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Like,
and sometimes you don't nail it all the time, right? There's gonna be some cuts that you don't get, but
pressure. That's the pressure, man. The execution of the cut, the execution of being likable, the execution of providing looking like you're knowing what the hell you're doing. Sometimes we're faking the funk a little bit. Sometimes we screw up, but you can't act like you screwed up.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Like if you're going through something at home or if you're having a bad week, like you got to show up and bring good smile, bring good energy. You can't like, you know, feed that energy into your client, right? Like, so you have to really show up and like just be a professional, right?
And we've seen it when barbers do that.
Yeah.
When they have that kind of, you know, that energy coming in, and it's just the whole day is shot because you're having a bad day.
You know what it is, man? I think for so long people are, you know, they have been used to dealing with barbers that are like, they don't give a crap about their profession, right?
Yeah.
Like they treat it as a part-time hobby. You know, they come and it's just
side hustle.
It's a side hustle. So when you for years, when you have people that are dealing with it that way, of course your clients are not going to take you serious when you start charging your worth. You start charging 40, 50, 60, $100, right? Like they're not going to take you serious because you know, all they know is like dealing with people that are unprofessional, you know? Like I don't know, I feel like, man, I'm trying to like be top notch with this. I'm trying to be a pro. Like if you go to see a doctor, you go to see a lawyer, you go to see anyone that's a profession in their field, that's what I'm trying to be like
100%.
for what I do. You know, I'm not trying to do
they
it.
They see it too.
Yeah.
They know they know you care, like something shifts. Like they know how serious you take your work and how, you know, how you set things up to make sure that you're executing time in and time out. Like they care about that. And this is a big thing now. Men care about their appearance more than ever. You can't be walking out here looking like embarrassing. Like people get embarrassed. That's a big thing going on. People don't want to be embarrassed. Like men care more than ever about their appearance, the man maintenance, right? Yeah. Like we're at the best time for that.
100%.
These for the men who are into women, these women don't want to be out here with a bummy looking dude. And the men that are into men, I mean, that says itself that they both care about the appearance. Like
Yeah.
I have a lot of gay clients. I'm in an area where it's more prevalent, and I mean, you want to talk about people that spread the word for you? They'll do it, and they care. That's what I'm into. I'm into clients that care about the way they look, and I'm into clients that understand how much I care
Right.
about my craft. And that's
Right.
when you get the combo of those two things, dude, it's massive.
And that's the beauty of it, is that there are people out there that they'll pay your price. They'll pay your price if they know that you're worth it. They know that you're serious about what you do, and that you're a professional, and that you just put out good results, right? Like, so that's why I don't get too wrapped up into like people talking crap about barber prices being too high, because I'm like, man, like if they only knew that there's levels to this, like
Yeah,
imagine if everyone charged $20. Like, how does that separate someone that's like really taking their craft serious to someone that's like treating it like a part-time hobby? There's no way there could be a set universal price. Like, it has to be based on that person's skill, that person's demand, right? That
for
person's
sure.
professionalism, the experience they provide, all of those little variables, I think. So I don't know. People's like, it kills me when people are like, oh, haircut shouldn't be no more than $40. They shouldn't be no more than $40. I'm like, then you're just putting everyone in the same box. You're saying that
100%.
everyone is they're assuming that everyone has the same skill level, right? Same
Right. Yeah.
experience, same
That's not the
experience.
case. And it's becoming less and less the case because, dude, the barbershop's going to die. At least in my state, dude, barbershop's becoming less and less of a thing because
Mm,
there's no education anymore. They're
mm,
not requiring enough to get your license. Dude, it's
mm.
300 hours now here. They just dropped it. They wanted to wipe it out completely. And the people with the license fought back and they're like, all right, we'll do 300 hours.
It's 300 hours?
300 hours right now. I'm like,
Wow.
dude, this is just going to turn into like, I
That's
mean, I never want to own a barbershop, man.
I
I
know.
never want to own a barbershop because it's
Uh,
so hard corralling all these personalities and these artists to kind of come together with one vision, let alone, you've, it's like you're grooming someone to fly away. It's like you're feeding a baby bird and then they fly out the nest. And it's just like, why'd I do that? Like,
it's a lot of energy, right?
it's a lot of energy just to like bang your head off the wall, it seems. So,
Yeah.
dude, I think it's just going to become more and more common for these like little suites. And I think that's that's the retirement plan, Tony. That's where we should come together, dude. Let's buy a salon loft. Let's buy a building that
Right?
harbors all the barbers. That's the move.
It is the move. It is the move. That's where the money's at for sure.
You ain't got to
But yeah,
worry about the real estate that's going to work itself out.
I,
Just
but
hire the management.
it is when you think about it, it's kind of a headache having to deal with, because as a barber, that if you open up a shop, that best case scenario, you're going to get a barber that's going to be with you 2 to 3 years max, right?
Yeah.
Before they fly the coop and want to do their own thing.
Right.
And that's just the nature of the business. That's just the way it is. So I don't know. How do you
It's you have the school or you have where the barbers are going to fly to after they're ready to fly. So it's
Oh
like
man, it's
the
a headache.
shop is it's over for the shop, dude.
It's
You
a
think it's
headache.
over?
I don't know. I feel like it's I wouldn't say it's over, but I would say that it's not going to be
Shops are going to start separating themselves. The
yeah,
real ones from the whatevers.
yeah, for sure. Has to be. Has to
That's
be.
what it is, dude.
Well, I think that's also the problem with the shops, is that a lot of shops have a set price, right? So
Yeah.
let's say $40, right? That means every barber in there, that's where they're capped out to make $40
Yeah.
per cut, right? So what happens when a barber starts developing his skills and he becomes really good at what he does, he reaches the ceiling. And then at that point, there's only so much you can do for him, right? So he's gonna have to leave at some point. So it's like what do you do? Like, how do you prevent that from happening? How do you?
That's what I'm saying. Like that guy I interviewed, I had a guy on, it's Pappy's Barbershop in San Diego. He's got 3-tier shops. He's got like the shop he has fresh out of school for the barbers. He's got kind of the regular level of talent, the next level. And then he has, I think, one called like Pappy's Premier, where he partners up. He tells the barber, "Hey, you're ready to move on? Let's partner up and open a shop together." And
Oh,
then we
really?
can fill that shop with barbers that are like yourself, ready to bump up. And then they can have the ownership in the shop instead. I was like, that's a pretty good system to keep barbers around a little longer
Yeah,
under your umbrella, especially.
that
But
is
I mean,
pretty
dude,
cool.
I'm thinking about this. I just thought of this. Like the fact that the barbershop's dying more and more, in my eyes, that's only going to raise our price more. That's only going to separate
Yeah,
the real from the fake more and more,
yeah,
because like these barbers aren't going to be patient either. That's another layer. They see someone fly the coop when they're ready and they want to do it in year one. You got to build it right. You got to be patient. You
yeah.
can't chase it.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, it's
That's why I was lucky. Like I was just so fortunate that shop closed when it did, because I had enough time built up there to where I did it the right way. I built like 2 years worth of clientele before I had to make a move. Before I was
I,
forced to make a move.
yeah. Your back was against the wall. You had no choice. You had to do it.
Right. It was either start over working for someone else again. And when I entered that place, I said, this is the last time I'm working for someone.
Yeah.
I can't start over like this
No.
over and over.
No. Uh-uh. No, I think you made the right move. I think now, honestly, though, what you were saying earlier, I think you should really focus on promoting your brand and promoting your shop, because you know you can never have enough like
Right.
brand awareness. You know,
100%.
so I think
That's why
that
I feel guilty about it. That's why I'm like, why do I feel like I'm just not into doing that? And I'm like very on the cusp of it. That's why I wanted to get that new iPhone. I was like, I just need something to just put a spark under my ass, like a little bit of like I'm like, yo, this camera, like,
yeah.
I'm like, that new phone's coming out. I'm like, just be prepared. My phone's gonna be in your face a lot, man. It's been a long break, but get ready, man. It's coming.
Which phone do you have now?
I got the
What?
13 Pro.
Oh, so you're ready for an upgrade then?
You think they'll upgrade it for free? They do that, right?
Yeah, probably.
I'm trying to convince my wife. I'm like, let's go Verizon. They'll update us for free, probably. She's like, they just don't do it for free. I'm like, how do you think they compete
Yeah,
with other companies?
yeah, they'll lock you down with a 3-year
Yeah,
contract.
I'm like, they don't give a shit about the now. They prefer the long term.
Yeah.
They want you to pay that bill. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want you to sign your life away for the next 3 years.
Right.
Yeah.
So, real quick, we were talking about balding earlier.
Yeah.
We're talking S&P. You got I saw you had a post the other day. I don't know, this was like months ago, and I was like, hold up. And I was like, yo, what did you do? You did something. Your hair, you had longer. You've always known you to have, you've had plenty of hair on your head. You have style of some sort, but it's like, yo, all the hair's gone. That guy's looking dark up there.
It's crazy because I was getting to the point where I was like, man, you get to that point where you start looking in the mirror, you're like, man, is it time? Is it time?
The tipping point.
You keep fighting it. You're like, is it time? And my barber, which is my buddy Joe, he would cut my hair, and he was like, oh no, you're good, man, you're good, right?
He's not gonna tell you.
And I was like, yeah, no, exactly. So, and then I'm looking in the mirror, I got the cul-de-sac, and I'm looking like a rooster. I'm like, my hair's all the way back here. I'm like, bro, this dude keeps telling me I'm good, but I'm like, I know I'm not good.
Yeah, when the lights gotta be right, that's it's over.
I'm like, oh, I'm gonna buzz it off. One day I just was like, that's it, it's over. and then yeah, that's pretty much about it. I just decided just one day I was just like, that's it, it's over. It's over. Never
You
look back.
shaved it, but you did something on top of
Yeah,
that, right?
yeah. So a buddy of mine's in Glendale, he's actually a SMP artist. And so I was telling him like I want to fix up the hairline, the front. I seen his work. I was like, man, his work is good. And yeah, just reached out, did a couple of sessions, and it was pretty easy. A lot.
So you did 2 of them?
No, you do like I think like 3 sessions.
Oh, you do 3. Okay.
Yeah, like 3 sessions. But it depends on how much like your dome. You probably gonna need a whole. You probably need like 5 sessions.
It's like,
Is that
yeah,
no?
it goes down. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, but you got some in the back though, right? You got some like back
No,
here?
man. That was one of the daggers to the heart
Really?
that took me out. I saw it when I think it was during COVID. I had like a long like slick back,
Yeah.
and I have a cowlick. It kind of wraps my hair in the back sideways.
Oh, so you
And
had it from both ends then.
yeah, so dude, I was at the grocery store and I just saw that like security camera from above, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, oh my god, it's really over, man. It's really over now. So, and that was my big thing too. I'm like, I'm not going to be Manu Ginobili running around here in these streets, keeping it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I say get it done, man. Get it done.
yeah, I'm liking it. So,
Next thing I'm
how
gonna
do
see
you,
you with the hairline.
so how do you play it? Do you shave it like every 3 days or something, or
every
you
every
shave it with like a Gillette or like a zero?
you can do both. It doesn't
Because
matter.
that's what I like about it. I can just shave it like I always have done with the fresh baldy, but I'm gonna have
Yeah.
like a fresh haircut every time.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then they blend it in. They blend it in like a fade, right? Like it kind of
Yes,
it's just
exactly.
the
You
crown.
seen Dre Clipperhands. You seen his?
Right, yeah.
It looks actually really good.
Oh
It,
yeah.
his work was pretty good. So yeah,
Kenny
that's
the
the thing.
Jet Smith on NBA.
That
Oh, I guess that thing's over. They're doing on that little after show with Chuck and
oh, it is
Kenny
right.
and yeah, that thing's over. I forgot they're doing that. They do that in Atlanta. I didn't know that for the longest time.
What?
That show, that like after that like post NBA show with like Shaq and Charles Barkley and Kenny, where they're all busting balls and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kenny the Jet got it. I was like, oh, okay. Like I had noticed. Yeah, like we look at stuff with different set of eyes. So.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, your beard's looking nice too. This is like the biggest beard I've ever seen you have.
Yeah, I've been letting it grow out.
Shit's looking clean though, man. It's
Thank you,
got a
sir.
nice shape to it and everything.
Thank you, sir. Yours is getting big too, no? You've been growing it out too, no?
I'm debating what I'm going to do in Denver. I feel like you have to have a beard in Denver. So like I don't know if I should leave it kind of big. I've been doing this fade from like all the way from the side.
What do you mean Denver?
So I'm going to Denver to watch that Broncos game in 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Like I told
Yeah.
you. So I'm like, if you're in Denver, you're gonna see a lot of beards and like leg tattoos. And so I'm like, man, I don't know if I should shave it off. Plus, it might be a little chilly compared to, it's like 90 here today.
It's 90?
Humid 90.
Oh,
We got a little taste of like 70, 68, and then it shot back up to 90.
Not here. It's nice over here, man. Finally just broke too. Like
Which is like 95.
Yeah, but it's dry. So
You feel it. You feel 95 in Arizona compared
Yeah.
to 115.
Exactly. Big difference.
No doubt about it, dude. I got to get back out there, man. I got to come out.
Yeah, when are you coming
Dude,
out?
I wanted to come out for the Barber or the is BarberCon.
Oh yeah, the
Expo.
Barber AZ Expo or something like that.
Yeah, the AZ Expo, but my daughter's birthday is that same week and we're going to Disney World.
Okay.
So I got an expensive October coming. I'm going to Denver at the beginning and I'm going to Disney at the end for 4 days. Holy crap, man.
That's going to be fun though.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be hard for me to not get like just be in tears the whole time.
Really?
It's weird, dude. My daughter's turning 6, which is nuts.
I know.
But my daughter's turning 6. When I was 6, 6 or 7. That was the last time I went to Disney, and the only time.
Really?
And my parents got a divorce right after that.
Wow.
And
Wow.
so it's like my mom's gonna be there. You know, my dad's no longer here with us, but like my mom's gonna be there. You know, I'm still together with my wife. I got my daughter. Like, it's gonna be a bunch of like indirect trauma. I'm like not like really putting to the forefront. It's just gonna come out of me. I know it is.
Really?
Those fireworks. Boo, 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 boo,
This is gonna be a good. I think you taking had a good time. That's it. That's a good time. 6. I think that's.
Oh yeah,
There's people that take their kids at like 1, 2. I'm like, why? Why would you do that? I mean,
no.
she's not gonna. They're not gonna remember that at all. Like,
No, my wife was trying to throw it out when she was 3. And like,
Yeah.
I think we lucked out and there was like a maintenance day at the park when we wanted to go. And I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
So yeah, now's the right time.
You been to Disneyland?
I haven't been to either since I've been 6 or 7, dude.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it's been.
Okay.
I'm
You
trying
gotta-
to like gear ourselves up for what's to come, and my daughter just has no idea how big this is gonna be, man.
Yeah, it's a pretty
She keeps
big deal.
asking for. She asked me for a Diet Coke for her birthday the other day because we don't let her
Really?
drink soda.
Yeah.
So she's like, "Can I have this at my birthday?" Like I brought one out of the suite. Sometimes I have a little treat, you know, on a weekend when I leave the suite. I'll bring a Diet Coke I have in there for the clients.
Yeah.
She was drinking it, and she's like, "Can I have this at my birthday?" I'm like, "Honey, we're gonna be in Disney World. This is
Like, yeah.
Of course you can have a Diet Coke for your birthday, but this is gonna
Yeah.
be different this year, honey."
She has no idea. Oh,
No
man.
idea, man,
So
how big.
you're surprising her? It's like she has no idea.
No, she knows it's coming, but
Okay.
she has no idea just the levity of this place, like what it's gonna be, man. So, yeah, brother. So what you got coming next, man? What's next on the docket for you?
Not much, man. Just really just grinding. I really want to focus on just promoting the brand more, expanding the business more.
You've added products, right?
Yeah. We added a
So
beard
that's
balm.
something I want to keep things simple.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like
You should definitely get your own products, man.
I will eventually. I just want to get
Yeah.
like a year under my belt, see the numbers, and just see what I can do to supplement some more. And
Yeah. I'm proud of you, man.
oh, dude,
Long
I'm proud
time
of you,
coming.
man. You've been a inspiration to me too. I mean, I saw you do it 2 years before I did. So
Yeah, I've been
It's
telling
3
you
years,
since
really.
August.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, we're still rocking, man. Still going strong, going solid, and you know, we've been thinking about opening up a shop, so that's probably the next thing. But I don't know, we kind of go back and forth, right? Like we don't want to deal with
Right.
the headaches that come with that, and prices are still out of control with the real estate market and
Yeah.
just interest rates, all that stuff. So
Well, the
just time.
education, man, that the education's still good there.
Yeah.
You got Mesa Barber School just putting a monopoly on the education game in Arizona, man.
I
Shout
know.
out to Manny and Blanca, man, and
I know.
the rest of the team, man. That's crazy that like I mean their kids are getting so old now, and it was like, oh my God, like man, we're getting old.
Time's flying, my
Time
God.
is flying, man. We're
Yeah.
really I feel like I'm living a dream, man. I feel like I'm
Yeah.
living the dream. It's crazy.
All right, my brother. I gotta get going.
Anything you want to say in closing, Tone?
Not much, man. Just keep doing your thing, Matt. Appreciate you. And it was good catching up.
Absolutely. If you guys want to see any of Tony's background and anything, go back to
Something
remember
like that.
what that
Think
sound
that-
right?
Yeah, it sounds right.
It's 4 or 5, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got into playing Jay-Z and Fight Night. We got the background in New York. Sam Ash days. Dude,
Yeah.
Sam Ash is over. It closed Sam Ash.
Oh, no, I heard about that. It's
Yeah?
crazy.
Isn't that nuts?
That is
That had to feel
wild.
like a moment for you too. Be like, wow.
Yes, that was crazy. Yeah. Goes to show you, man. Don't get too comfortable. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Don't get too comfortable.
You made yourself closure
You're
proof.
like, oh, I'm happy, with my clients right now. No, you got to keep working, man. Keep
you're
promoting.
right. You're right. I'm on the cusp. I'm on the
That
cusp.
match ain't safe. You ain't safe, brother. Nobody's safe out here.
No one's safe. All right, Tony.
The Sharp Studio. Nobody's safe, my guy.
That's what I needed, man. I needed this talk. All right,
brother.
Tony. It was a pleasure, man. It was great catching up with you. And stay in touch, man.
All right, later.
I'll talk to you, boss. Thanks for watching another episode of the Your Barber Podcast. New episodes come out weekly on Sunday. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify to be notified when new content is posted. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.